Hey people, how you doing? I told you I was going to try my best, and I was going to try to make videos a little bit closer than they were before, because I was kind of spreading them out too far away from each other. So, I'm trying my best, and it will get better. It will get better in time. Remember, I'm starting out. I know what I told you from the previous video. I know the things that I mentioned to you. But I'm gonna get. I want to get deep down in depth towards what I'm trying to say to you, right? About the things that we all need to do. I'm not gonna say just you. It's me too, right? There's a lot of things that's happening right now. And, we're doing our daily duties that we were trained to do. Because believe it or not, please, I want you to really think about what I'm saying to you. We all have been schooled and trained. Don't even get it twisted. All of us, including myself, have been schooled and trained. And we've been trained so well. Anybody who's listening to this video or listening to my videos or in generally listening, period, you have to understand, I'm probably listening, most of my followers or video seekers who are maybe capturing a glimpse of what I'm saying right now did quite a few years in their job place. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the job that they're at now, but any job that they any job that they have held previously and now today. You've all been in one place for a long period of time. And let's just say if it wasn't a job, it could be school. You always held in one place for a long period of time. So by saying that, I'm going to say this, right? That we need to understand something. If you keep going to the same place all the time, right? And the purpose of what you do in that place that you're going to, right, keeps you contained to do the responsibility that was taught to you. Because we all had training. Anything you do in your lifetime that had to do with any of the groups, trust me when I tell you, the word training is in all of them. Okay? Being trained, period. And, if you really look at the word training, right? Training is another way of taking your thoughts in your mind and placing it and putting it in one place only to make you be focused on one thing, what you're being trained for. So I want you to understand, to do that, that's another way of concealing a person's thoughts and creating a diversion for you not to think about yourself. Because now you're going to be focusing on your responsibilities and your job task of what you have to do to make sure you just be that good worker or that good student. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but it falls in that same format. So what I'm trying to say to you, right? The conversation that I'm giving you right now is that what I want to understand is how come you cannot, I repeat, how come you cannot take the time out to clear out your thoughts for that moment? It's not even a long period of time. And empty out your mind about any and everything you've been doing and just focus on you. You hear what I'm saying? You're just focusing on you. I'm not talking about going out and buying some clothes to make yourself look very elegant or beautiful, whatever the case is. I ain't talking about going on some fancy trip to some exotic place or some place that you would call peace of mind where you're away from where you normally be. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm only talking about you. Like I said, if you listen to my videos and you see the things that I'm talking about, I haven't mentioned a person. I haven't said nobody's name. and I haven't given you any like real information that came from a book. This is coming from oneself. I'm talking to you from here. So by saying that, right, you have to understand, why can't you give yourself that moment to like think about you? I mean, like, that's a serious one word. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a serious statement to make. Think about you. Why can't you just think about you? And thinking about you is not about the things you're doing. It's about what you need to know about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been placed in all kind of categories, like all kind of ways. We've been placed in all kind of ways and all kind of whatever you want to call it, to the point where none of it showed at any time that we actually did for self. And when I say do for self, I don't mean you chose to do something in relations to that. No. Wrong. That's not what I mean. What I mean is what's coming from here. So what's coming from here is not thinking about what's out there. What's coming from here is only thinking about who? You. Okay? Because when you start to think about you, what's outside of you is irrelevant. I mean, I don't know how to put this to you, but when you start to like really put your mind in a different way of thinking, and the subject on hand is about yourself, you're going to find out that, yes, it's a crazy topic. Like, you are the talk of the day when it comes to yourself. Because when you start to think and your thoughts starts to translate into a memory for you to come by, you know what I'm saying? You're going to start to realize it has nothing to do with what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And also, the process of doing that, you're going to start, like I told you before, I think I said it in a few of my videos, once you start to think and trust yourself when you're thinking and not be scared about certain things that pop up in your mind, you're going to start to believe in yourself, and that when you have answers to things that's happening out here today, you're not going to need nobody to tell you. You're going to know in the process of you thinking about it, the answer's going to come right there. And when the answer comes, you're going to be standing somewhere, whether you're on the train, you're driving, or walking, going to the store, doing any one of your daily tasks. You're going to turn around and be like this, holy cow. And then the craziest thing you're going to do, you're going to smile to yourself, because you're going to realize, oh snap, I actually thought that through. Like, man, it came to me and bam, my response to it was like a straight, quick answer. And I actually took the time out to trust the answer, and look where it put me. Yes. Yes. Now, remember what I told you, right? Upon you giving yourself that time to like clear your mind up and sort out things that are in your head that you kind of like been going by, like this dialogue that's been created on you that you've been following, you're going to start to see that the paths that you're going, and believe it or not, I'm speaking to adults. Okay, I'm speaking to mature adults here. I would hope so. But mind you, young people also have the opportunity to consume what I'm saying. But those who have children or siblings or have bought children into the world, I want you to understand something. Look at the way you distribute your information to your children. Look at the things that you're telling your children. That's serious. That's deep. You're going to start to see that some of the stuff that you're saying, the topic that I'm bringing forth towards you, you're actually doing the same thing that was done to you. And the crazy part about it is, you could do it or you don't want to do it. But kind of check out the way you did it. Check out the way you have done it or how you're doing it now. And you're going to see, are you really giving the sibling or your child or your children the opportunity to think for themselves? Think about what I'm saying to you. Are you really giving them the opportunity to think for themselves? And remember what I told you. Thinking for yourself is not about an introduction to something or a person's well-being when it comes to doing something for, because you was trained to do that. Thinking for yourself is when it comes to mind, and the thought of it gives you an opportunity to think what it is when it comes. Okay? That's different. That has no dialogue. That has no family value. It has no tradition in it. No nothing. It what came up here. You know what I'm saying? And the funniest thing is that if you attempt to or try to have a conversation with your teenager or your adolescent, in one cases, and go away from your traditional way of living, and then just give your child, your teenager or your young man or young woman an opportunity to talk to you off the top of their head. Watch what comes out of their mouth. You're gonna be like, what? You're gonna be thrown off, because why? It has nothing to do with what you said. It had nothing to do with the things you told them. It has no bearing to the fact that what you say and what they thinking are the same. No, they're different. And it's supposed to be different because the mind protects the body. So how the mind protects the body is the mind sends out signals to the body so the body can instruct itself to either heal, function, or just live. Okay? So by saying that, yes, the information that you're going to give them is going to be different from what the mind is thinking. But the question is, are you strong enough? Are you brave enough to allow your siblings, your teenager, or your adult daughter or son speak to you and allow them to say whatever they got to say off the top of their head? It don't have to be no dialogue from you or from any institution they went to, a job, a girlfriend and boyfriend, no nothing. What seems to pop up in their head that they seem to be reminded about but don't know what it is, and they can actually freely speak to you about it. Yeah. You're going to be surprised what you hear, because it ain't going to be nothing what you taught them. It's not going to be nothing what you taught them. So back to what I was saying about me and you. We fall in that same format because we was never given that opportunity to do that. And then at times as adults that we are grown already and we're very much mature, we start to look and see things differently as time passes and not realize, no, the scenery really didn't change. The outcome of what you're supposed to be doing didn't really become different. No, it's the way you thinking. It's the way you thinking. Because the funny thing about training, right, is when someone is being trained about doing, right, the sad part about it is if you allow them to train you, right, and you've been trained, The funny thing is, if you keep repeatedly doing those things every day, do you know what that does to you? I'm a sole witness to it. It actually puts you in a place where you stand there while you at your workplace at school, and at times you're bored. You're not excited. You're not overwhelmingly happy. Like, you having your moments where it's a serious thought that got you, like, where people are looking at you going, "Are you okay? Is everything all right with you?" And the reality is, you're thinking of a lot of things that you're doing, and it's like deja vu. You're doing the same thing every day. You can't tell me that doesn't bother you. And do you think that we really supposed to be living like this? We supposed to be functioning on things that we're instructed or what we learned, and we stay doing that one specific thing all the time? I want you to think real hard. I want you to understand, when I say being, right, as of myself, calling myself being, remember, I didn't say human being. I said being. Now, if you want to, you can choose to pick up one of those books and read the word being. And you're going to understand what they wrote. But honestly, you don't need the book to understand what that word is. Okay? Because we are all beings. It's just that the way we were trained and things that were instructed by us and taught as adolescents put us away from what our true state of mind is supposed to be on. Okay? Our mind is just like the universe. Oh yeah. I want you to think real hard what I just said. I threw something at you again that's different than what we normally are doing. Yes, our minds are like the universe. And what's the universe? Oof. The universe is everywhere and everything. The universe is beyond. It's not even the word infinity. There's no word for it because it keeps continuing without no stop. And supposedly, that's what we're supposed to be. Yep, that's what we're supposed to be. But for some reason, life is giving us a different card because we're being put in this dream world to survive by what we're being taught on how we're supposed to function. And I'm telling you, seriously, as an adult, a mature adult, there's got to be some point in time that you find yourself in a place where you try something different and see where it would place you. Now, mind you, me talking like this, no, I never said for you to stop what you're doing. I never said for you to stop being who you are. I never told you to drop everything and just walk off. No. What I'm saying is that information is the key to everything, right? So being that wording has a true statement to it, think about it. If you're getting your own information about yourself and it's opposite of what you're doing, shouldn't you take the time out to be a little bit more focused about that? You understand what I'm saying to you? If you focus yourself on that, the reason why I say it will take you to a different place up here is because when things are being instructed to you, or when you go back to your job or your institution of schooling or whatever you want to call it, when you walk into those programs or that place of work, I'm telling you, I kid you not, because I'm doing it myself. And seriously, I'm going to say this about myself. Okay? I'm going to say this about myself. I don't take none of it seriously anymore. Because the format of it is to be serious to me, to keep me in a place where if I don't do, then I'm doing wrong. Okay? That's how they have us. If you go to your job and you show up late, you feel like, oh, I messed up. Oh my God, I've been late. So yes, it puts you on the edge. you take too many days off. I'm about to get fired. And then in your mind, you create this illusion that you're going to lose everything because they told you when you don't have everything all together, when you're not doing the right things, you shall lose everything that you have because you're not falling in that place of keeping yourself what? Trained properly, okay? So it's the same thing in school. When you turn around, you fall behind your grades. That's right. Fall behind your grades. That means your mind take you away from what you're doing when it comes to school. And then all of a sudden, you start doing the work and you're behind. And you think you're failing, but no. That's your mind talking to you. That's your thoughts. And your thoughts is like trying to separate the things that you're doing in that way and then trying to talk to you, which puts you in a place where there's a gap there. And then you go, yo, what happened? Like, you're saying to yourself, I can't believe I did that. Like, I totally forgot what I was supposed to be doing. How the hell am I going to get this right? See? And that didn't just happen out of nowhere. It's you that did that. And it's coming from up here. Because when it's an overload up here of too much being distributed to the mind, yes, there's a rejection part. And the rejection part is called losing thought. Losing thought. No, not losing thought of yourself. Losing thoughts of what's being placed in your mind. Yes, that's right. Trust me when I tell you, your mind, your brain, and your mind and your thoughts have a limit when it comes to information. You know, I believe at times, and I'm pretty sure we all had this. We're still getting this to the day. We're still getting this to still today. Is we're getting headaches, migraines, fevers, shivers, and we think that it's some type of sickness that we came up with, or somebody might have passed us. No, this is another way of your body rejecting some of the things you're doing. So it's called an alert. It's called an alert to your body. It's an alertness to you. And you turn around, you think you're just sick. You're not sick. Your body's trying to say something to you. You're dumping too much information into your mind, and it's not able to gather what it needs to tell you. So, I mean, how I'm telling you this, I'm doing breakdowns to you. And the breakdowns that I'm giving you is just a way of seeing how they keep us so into the things that they show us that we're supposed to do, that seriously, if you was to videotape yourself on a day-to-day basis, right? Seriously, videotape yourself. And then you go back and watch that video, you're not going to believe what you see. Trust me when I tell you, you're not going to believe it, because you're going to sit back and laugh. And what I mean about videoing yourself, I mean videoing yourself where you're getting up in the morning, rushing to get to work. You are gathering up your things to get yourself readied up to what you have to do. You rushing outside to go hang out. You rush into an appointment that was made where you have to be there at a certain time. Look at that. That's a good example. Even when you have a doctor's appointment, they have you on that training too. When something's being told to you that you have to be there at a certain time, right? You gotta actually get yourself ready for that time to be there on time. You don't think that's training? That's another form of training right there. Yeah, you gotta hurry yourself up to be on time to make it to that appointment. This is crazy. I mean, I'm not laughing to say I'm trying to make a joke about it, but yo, you don't understand. They created all of these different things that we're doing, and they all fall in place of taking you out of your state of mind. Yes. And the craziness is that we choosing not to see that. Is that safe to say that the majority of us is choosing not to see that the things that we are doing is really separating ourselves from the reality part. Even all the way down to relationships. Like, you're gonna laugh at this one, right? But what if I tell you that technically we really not supposed to be bonding with each other like this? We're not supposed to be bonding with each other where we're supposed to have this fixation on each other where, the word love and, obsession and, how can I say, that whole concept right there leads into a totally different scenario. But just by bringing a little bit of that up, which that's going to be part of my next video, that takes you also to a place where, oh my God, wait till I get into that part there too, because it's in the same category of pulling you out of your state, because your emotions, you see, it's a breakdown. They have a breakdown on us where it's at every part of how we supposed to be instructing ourselves to live, where we're not functioning completely on our own. We're functioning on methods that were taught to us. And trust me when I tell you, I'm going to get to that topic about relationships and the affections of love, and also having your thoughts focus on being with somebody so desperately, or just in general. You got to see where that takes you to, because when you do that too, you still not thinking about yourself. You still not allowing your mind to take care of you, because that's another avenue that you have to pay attention to, which separates you from you. So look, I'm going to end this video by saying to you that we need to pay attention to the things that are around us, but in a sense of not absorbing it, but just analyzing it. You know what I'm saying? Analyzing something is not really judging it. What you're doing is you sorting yourself out to understand it, because then when you do that, right, you're going to start to see that things that are being put forth in front of you, it's not realistic. And when I say not realistic, I don't mean about the air, the sky, or your clothing or objects. I also have to say that falls in relation to people. There are people that be around you that you don't realize they're creating their own character towards you, but they're not really letting you see who they are. And see, in order for you to see who they really are, up here got to be right, because your thoughts give you warnings about things. And remember, we all have these thoughts. And, what if I tell you that we can all communicate without even speaking? Remember, the body has its own human electricity. So by saying that, right, I can honestly tell you that, yes, we can communicate without talking. And that's another subject I'm going to get to at another time. But I want you to understand, taking what I did, what I'm saying to you, and understand the only thing I'm speaking of, and in the sense of us all communicating, is that we need to have time to ourselves. Separation from reality to the real things in life forms something in one person. And let's just understand that you need to be right for certain things that's going to take place. Because at least when you're right to yourself, then you're gonna know what the realities are. You're gonna know what reality is, period. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna end this video on the note that reality is a must for you to understand. Because by understanding it, you're gonna know your purpose is only supposed to be about you. So all the things that you're doing is not supposed to be really irrelevant. The only thing supposed to be irrelevant is you. So the being spoke. I'm going to leave you on that note. And I want you to understand, I told you I'm working on it. I'm working on trying to continue these videos and keep my communication. And people, please, my backgrounds, yeah, they're kind of crazy. White, dark, outside. You got to give me my moment, okay? Give me my moment to get myself together, okay? This is just starting out videos. So it's going to get better soon. Trust me when I say that it's going to get better. So the being says, peace, you know what I'm saying? Have a good night. Get some rest. And I will be talking to you soon. Peace.